We are doing the couch stretch today. So what you're gonna need is a pillow or a soft surface like carpet or a yoga mat, because we are going to be in a half kneeling position and we wanna protect our joints. Also, I would recommend wearing shoes for this, because sometimes when you put your foot up behind you, if you get to that progression point with this stretch, your feet can cramp. And so to prevent that, wear some shoes. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do the right leg first. And we are gonna be stretching our hip flexors and our quads with this exercise. So to begin, you're gonna put the pillow underneath your right knee. I always like to have folks start doing the stretch with their lower leg and foot on the ground. Some folks like to jump right into having their knee closer to the wall, putting the foot up on the wall, but our bodies, go through so much every day depending on what we're doing for work, what athletics we're involved in, and sometimes we're tighter than we know we are. So I encourage you to start in this beginner level 1 posture, assess and see how things feel. And if you don't feel like you're getting a stretch right out of the gate, then you can always progress into the next level, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let's get into a nice tall upright posture in our half kneeling position. This knee's at about 90 degrees. And what I want you to do is squeeze your tush on the right side. Squeezing the buttocks or the glutes on the right side sometimes will help you feel a deeper stretch here in the right hip. You'll feel it deep on the front. And if we're feeling a stretch, that's wonderful. We're gonna hold it here. You may even feel a little bit of a stretch in your quad. Hold this for about 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, we're gonna do a little bit of side bending to the left. Now, because your spine tends to not like to be held in a side bent position for a long period of time, it can cause cramping or pinching. We're gonna make this part of the stretch more dynamic. So we've held this for 30 seconds. I'm gonna have you put one hand on the back of your head. In this case, it'll be your right hand, and we're still keeping our glutes tight. We're still squeezing the glutes, and let's side bend to the left until you feel a nice intense stretch on this right side, probably intensifying here on the front of the hip, and then relax. And we're just gonna do this for about 10 to 15 seconds. We're just holding it for maybe 1 or 2 seconds and then relaxing. There we go. And that is your couch stretch, level 1. So let's say you did all of that and you're like, I'm not really feeling much of a stretch. That's okay, because we can always make this more challenging. And how we do that is we move the knee closer to the wall. So let's do that a little bit. Your goal, it could be to get your knee super close to the wall. It just depends on how flexible do you want to be? What does your sport require? What does your job require? I would say if you can get it somewhat close to the wall, that's a good goal for you. So I'm just going to move it a little bit close to the wall, and let's see how this pans out. This is where we're going to start to put the foot up on the wall. This knee is still at 90 degrees, and we're going to come back up into a tall half kneeling posture. So now you're definitely going to feel more of an intense stretch in the front of the right hip, and then also in the quad. So we're here, and then you guessed it, we are gonna squeeze that right buttock. So go ahead and squeeze the right glute. Keep it squeezed for about 30 seconds. That is gonna cause a more intense stretch across the front of the thigh, probably deep in the hip. And then after 30 seconds, let's do some side bending. So you can do it like this, or if you want to add some more shoulder active range of motion into this stretch, you can do a nice abduction movement, like a snow angel almost, a half snow angel with some side bending. All right, there we go. Short holds, and you just do that for 10 to 15 seconds at the very end. And there you go, that is your couch stretch. I will also add that, let's say you're super tight in your quads, in your hip flexors, and you're trying to do this and it's just really tight in those areas. You can incorporate some soft tissue massage techniques into this, combine one of those with this stretch, and it has a really great mobility benefit. Let's put it that way. It helps loosen you up nicely if you're feeling just like your body isn't relaxing with this stretch, which can happen sometimes if you've got a super physically demanding job or you're running a lot. Even if you're sitting a lot, everything can get super tight. So what you can do is foam roll the quads for like 30 seconds, and then you can go into your couch stretch and then do one set of 30 seconds, static hold on one side, finish up with 10 to 15 seconds of side bending, do the same thing on the opposite leg, and then cycle back around. Another 30 seconds of foam rolling of the quads, and then do the couch stretch on each leg again. And you may find that it just feels better overall when you're adding in a soft tissue massage element to it. All right, that's your couch stretch. Give it a try.